Yeah. I'm so down with this thing. Down with this sort of thing.
It's from Father Ted.
Ah.
There's some film comes out and I think they're told to stop this film. This film's like really filthy or whatever. So they go and stand outside the cinema with these signs and they go, down with this sort of thing.
Down with this sort of thing.
Careful now. That's all they say. And it ends up, they end up with queues around the block, I think, because it's like, oh great, the priest says we can't watch it.
I love it. That's great. Even chip.
Yeah, all got chips.
Oh, I haven't seen the extra careful now.
This is down to my washing up.
So this is what I have to show when you ask questions that I kind of, oh, I'm like,
careful now.
Love it. Love it. Okay.
So, now this is the reason why I have to have notes, because even though I know your name, under pressure I always forget everything.
Just call me Dave.
Dave. So, Jo Baldwin.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
The show that still has no name.
Thank you for having me on the show that has no name.
You're welcome.
I'm so down with this sort of thing.
So basically we met up a few weeks ago at the open mic that I've got going up at the Sutton.
Yes, Sutton Tap.
Coalfield.
Sutton Tap, Sutton Coalfield.
And you kindly came along. And you've got your...
You kindly invited me.
I did. And so you're a musician.
I try to be.
And so yeah, tell me about that. How's that going?
Yeah, it's really good. Jo Baldwin Project, or the JBP as we now call it, has really taken off. I set it up over a year ago now, and started working with different musicians, which means that I can go with myself and a bass player and a drummer, or a keyboard player, Chris Watts, to a gig, do some solo stuff as well. So under that name, we'll go out and do as many gigs as possible and get invited to do stuff with you, Toby. And so it's going really, really well. I think I had to invest a lot of time into it, obviously, a lot of marketing and stuff, and now we're going more online and do some YouTube stuff with you, which I hope will really help us deliver what we want to, which is the project is about the music side, but there's another important side of it as well to do with music therapy, which I'm sure we'll come into in a bit.
Yeah, so you mentioned there, it's quite a clever idea actually. You call it the Jo Baldwin Project. You can go out with whoever if you know what I mean, you can go out with, it's just me and the keyboard player today, or it's me and a drummer and a bass player and a keyboard.
That's it.
So you can kind of mix it up.
That's it. So when we've got a gig coming up at the Pint Pot in Mere Green this Sunday. I've got a gig at the Cats Victoria on Saturday and the Boldmere Tap on Friday night. And so the Friday night one will be called the Jo Baldwin Project, and that's going to be Chris Watts and myself. That's what they know us as. And then at the Victoria, the Cats in Walsall on Saturday, we're going out as the Jo Baldwin Band. And then on Sunday, I'm going out as the promotion name of the Jo Baldwin Project. So on the poster it will have the logo of the project, but it will be Jo and Chris, because that's what they know us as. That's what they know us as there, and that's what they want back. So it just allows the delivery of what the venue requires under that project title. It's quite a good way to market us.
Cool. So you've got a really busy weekend of gigs coming up.
Yeah, unfortunately for the venues I have to turn up to all of them, but can't have everything they want. Yeah, so it's a really, really, really busy weekend. Off the back of that, we'll hope to get some other gigs in the diary, get some more videos done, and the great thing about two of those three venues, so the Cats we haven't played at yet, the other two we have, and the great thing is we can invite other musicians on stage with us if there's people out there that want to come along and play, and that's what the project's all about, being able to get other people up if they want to. And again, that goes into the music therapy side of, which I'm sure we'll come on to later.
Do you know, I really, really like the sound of that. That's something, I played the drums until ages ago. I used to play the drums when I was young, and then I stopped in the late 90s, and I didn't play for about 10 years. And I went to a party down in Horsham, and this guy had a drum kit in the garage, terrible tattered old drum kit, and he got it out. And there was a guy there who could play guitar, and this guy's son had a guitar. So suddenly we've got an electric guitar and a drum kit, and I hadn't played for 10 years. But this guy just knew loads of songs, so we bashed out about 10 songs.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably terrible, but it didn't matter because all the people at the party just wanted to join in and sing along.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is crazy, because 10 years before that, I was in these bands where you'd rehearse for a year. And after a year of rehearsal, you'd go on stage and you'd be absolutely terrified because you had no practice in front of an audience. And you'd be there obsessed with trying to get everything absolutely perfect. And then at this party, nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
And then I thought, I'm going to go back to playing the drums, and I'm never going to be scared again.
Ever again. That's absolutely bang on. And I think there's 2 points that have come out of that. Number one is about atmosphere and engagement with people, and the other thing is about fear that I probably just want to hone into there. Number one, the party, right? Okay, so music is at a venue for a reason, okay, and usually that reason is to provide an ambience, provide the atmosphere. Otherwise you wouldn't have DJs and you wouldn't have live music, okay. So what you've created at that party was something that everybody wanted while they were there. What happens with a lot of bands when they go and play at a venue is they go and they're so rehearsed, and if somebody goes wrong, the solo piece, or I've done things in bands before where there's a 24 bar solo and I've forgotten I thought it was 12, just because of the adrenaline, because everybody's watching you like you're in a zoo, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, we've gone wrong a bit, but you have to smile and see it through. So a lot of bands, because of those nerves, they don't engage with the audience.
Yeah.
And that gap, I look at it physically, that gap makes a massive difference to a night. So for us, we get on stage and we make it more jam style. So we're not loose, it's very, very tight. We know what we're doing, but it's all about communication between us. So if the audience, who I'm engaging with, that salesperson side of me, if I'm engaging with them and they're really enjoying a song like Proud Mary, we will stick another verse and another chorus on the end, and I'll shout out, do you want to hear another verse? And there'll be some lady at the front going, yes, oh, amazing. And so I do another verse, and often I sing it with her, and we have a laugh because it's their night. It's our night. They entertain us, we entertain them, and that's what it's all about, and that's why the party thing for you works. And so and that's what the project is all about as well. It's making sure that everybody has a good time and keeping the structure of songs so that we communicate, we get the endings right, we know the middle, but we know the communication, which is key, rather than the structure has to be like that. On the fear side of things, we had a conversation a minute ago about fear. Fear is the one big thing that stops musicians, stops anybody doing anything they want in life. And we touched on the Will Smith video of the skydive.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at fear is something that we generate within ourselves to do with anything that we're passionate about, anything that really is important to us. So, as human beings, a lot of us shy away from that fear. I gave up music for 12 years because somebody, an ex-boyfriend, once told me I was crap. And the reason they told me that was because I dumped them the night before. And at 18 years old, you believe what they say. So I gave it all up in the same way that you gave it up for 10 years. Or because of fear, or just because...
that's a really good question. It was primarily because of money and career. And just I spent some time in my mid-20s focusing on trying to have a career, and that kind of worked, I think.
Yeah.
But now I'm a lot older than that, and I'm looking back, and there's a lot of years there where I could have been playing and developing, and I wasn't.
But then the fear increases. You mentioned fear earlier, about the fear of going back into it, and the fear of getting up on stage and playing. It's scary when you're so well rehearsed. but yeah, that's the one thing with a lot of musicians, that they fear. They fear getting out there. People that want to play, who, you know, they might not have had the opportunity at school, or might have been bullied in school, or various reasons people don't get to pick up their instruments and play in front of people. And that's one thing about the project that I really want to bring into it more, is this music therapy side of things. So it's not about going out and getting masters in music therapy. Music therapy is a Friday night at the pub performing. It is making people happy. And one of the slogans that we use is listen, create, play, which are the three factors in music. You can create music, you can play music, you can listen to music. So it might be like my dad, who'll go off and listen to Beethoven, you know, that's music therapy. And the fear side of things stops people getting up there and doing what they want to do. But the project is about inviting those people up on stage, or it might be about me with my tutoring side of the business to give people, like, you know, I've got a couple of kids who are from a foster home, for example, and the one girl hasn't ever played guitar, hadn't ever written a song, but had all this stuff inside of her that she wanted to get out in music, and I've been able to help her develop that skill so that she no longer fears it, and she's coming on stage with me in a couple of months actually to perform for the first time.
Wow.
So, facing her fear.
Wow.
Can't wait.
So how long have you been doing the music therapy stuff?
It's been since about September, October time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I mainly tutor kids. There's a few adults in there as well. But from my own experience of mental health stuff, that's why I got involved in setting that up as part of the project. It's We're going off on tangents. We've gone that way. Now we're going to go that way. Love it.
So you mentioned sort of sales and management. So do you think, is it worth just talking a little bit about what you were doing before?
Yes. Yeah. See, that was a closed question.
It was. I did, and I'm not supposed to do that.
And we're talking about sales, so that's why I just jumped on the back of that.
Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. So, Jo, what were you doing before?
Okay, so I worked in sales and then management. I was lucky to get an opportunity to work with Alliance Healthcare, which are part of Boots, as most of the public will know it, working on the distribution side of things, so from the manufacturer to the pharmacy. That was a great career. I really loved it, and that's where I realised that I'm a people person. And what they say about salespeople is you're not very good at admin. There's something, you know, something you're not very good at. We can't be perfect. So that sales side of things was great. I'm out with people, I'm not in an office, I'm engaging with people, and I then went on to work for another company in a management role, and then went on to develop a recruitment business off the back of that. But I think that all those skills are really paramount to what I'm doing now. Some of the key things, you know, when you're selling, well, it's mainly account management, you know, it's not selling a product from here to here and never seeing that person again. It's about driving the relationship to get them what they want, and obviously the business has to be successful as well, so it's about a win-win. But to be able to do that, you successfully need credibility, and to gain credibility you have to do things right. So by the customer, by your employer. So yeah, there's a lot of obviously training involved. Unfortunately, in this country, sales can be deemed as a bit low down the pecking order, you know, compared to some careers, and it's a shame, because in America and in Australia, where I've worked in sales as well, I worked for Johnson & Johnson out there. It's very much up there. It's very much up there with some of the, you know, vocational stuff like being a doctor and stuff like that. It's you know, it's not all about the money. It's about the perception of people and the sort of the credibility given to the role. So So yeah, I just wish that this country was more like that. But I've gained a lot of skills from that. I've brought them with me in this little bag. Yeah, it's when you're out on stage, there's some things like you know, if you do go wrong in a song, the audience is going to get nervous if you seem to be.
Yes.
You know, what's the next line? Or
Yeah.
you know, all this kind of fear. Oh my God. You know, what we're doing, that nervousness. And it's the same with the customer if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or you don't seem to be of substance and hold your own, then you're going to get walked all over, and it's exactly the same as an audience. So if you go wrong, you laugh it off.
Yeah.
You laugh it off, or you get the audience to come and sing it with you.
Yeah.
You make a joke, you know. And then everybody feels comfortable, because there's nothing worse than going to watch a band where there's lots of mistakes, because their nervousness comes straight over to you, especially when you've had a drink. It's heightened. And it's exactly the same as sales. So if we've got this relationship, you're my customer, they ask me a question, if I don't know the answer, I'm not going to be able to go, oh God, you know, I don't know, sweating, make you feel uneasy. You've got to be, right, okay, I don't know, I'll go and find out, I'll get back to you by tomorrow at 12 o'clock. You know?
Yeah.
And you're honest.
Yeah.
But you're giving yourself that credibility.
Yeah.
And that you hold your own.
So that's what you did before. So now you're doing the music lessons, and you're also doing the music therapy. Or how does that all fit together?
Right. Okay. So how does the lessons and the music therapy fit together?
Yeah.
So with the lessons, it kind of is music therapy all in one.
Okay.
So we're at the early stage at the moment. So the tutoring side of things, I've got kids and adults that I tutor, and the example with a few of them is that, you know, they've already had mental health issues in their lives, and they're using it as an avenue to express themselves and to zone out. Now, music therapy is on the increase in terms of people being aware of it. So in mental health, we had support such as CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, DBT, which is about talking therapy, different types of therapy, and there's lots of factors that are involved with. Let's talk about depression, anxiety, for example, where you can go along and have counselling. You learn about the environmental factors that affect it. We talk about the genetics, and then there's things like medicine, you know, antidepressants, etc., mood stabilisers that help people. However, there's this new wave. It's not so new, but it's becoming more and more prevalent today about music therapy and art therapy. So the NHS and private healthcare are really supporting delivery of that for patients. And they're also supporting people going on training for that. So you've got wellbeing practitioners and psychotherapists, etc. And I myself have been along to art therapy. I don't go anymore because it wasn't very good. my artwork has been rolled up, put to one side. No, but it's not about being a good artist. No. It's not about being a good musician. Yeah. It's about music and art as therapy to help depression and anxiety. Yeah. So what I'm actually doing within the tutoring is, and within the performance side of things, is allowing an avenue for people to get on stage with us if they want to, or learn if they want to, so they can create their own music, so they can play their own music. And with the gig side of things, with our online stuff, it's so that they can listen to music. So that avenue, we hope to be able to promote other musicians within it. So on YouTube you've got your video, and then it suggests where you go to next. A bit of a signposting avenue, really.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So music therapy, the way that our brains work is we dip into this pool of how we're going to try and find dopamine to make us feel better. And some people turn to drugs. Some people turn to gambling, some people turn to porn, you know, that's fact. And And then there's music therapy. So you know, when you go and play your drums on stage, and when a musician plays or practices, it increases dopamine. So this is a way of acting as a drug, if you like, but it's legal
and healthy.
And healthy. And then those people that haven't got those tools, weren't lucky enough to drive them at school or be able to express themselves at school because of because of other teenagers around them or kids around them that are influential, or there's a pecking order at school, isn't there? There's a hierarchy. I was lucky enough to be involved in the United Reformed Church when I grew up, so things I couldn't do at school I was able to do at the church and was really well supported. And my music at the school was great, but things like drama and stuff I was able to do at the church. So this, with the project, some of the stuff we're going on stage, we're performing at festivals and things like that. Some of those kids will now, or teenagers, will have the opportunity to come and play with us and have their own little bands and stuff go on. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Festivals, you just mentioned festivals. That's quite a big opportunity. I feel like in our band we kind of completely miss that. What festivals have you got? What festivals have you got coming up?
Well, the first one you need a pair of wellies.
Yeah.
That's where you go wrong. Have you not got wellies?
I've got wellies. Can you see
Put them on then. Going to a festival. So yeah, we've got a couple in the pipeline, but the big one we've got is the Big Family Festival, which is over at Kenilworth.
Oh wow, that sounds good.
So yeah, we've got a couple of the girls that I tutor that are coming on stage with us to perform, and we've also got a workshop there for the afternoon. So there's going to be kids there that will get to learn and see if they like music. Yeah, might even take a glockenspiel along with me. Back in the music days at school, when I was at Arthur Terry School. Yeah, so that's our big one, and then we're just getting confirmation. We've got one up in Shropshire, I forget the name of it, and down in Stratford as well. That's August, September time.
That's good. So yeah, there's like it feels like there's a window that opens in the first couple of months of the year where you have to apply for all the festivals. Is that how you do it?
Yes and no. It's a bit of a learning curve for us. I've only been doing this for a year. You often find things like, I don't know, just one that comes off the top of my head is the Upton Blues Festival. Same people every year, but that are going to go and get invited back, and there are newbies and stuff, but it's, I think we missed our opportunity there. But you have to apply for lots of different ones, and then they get back to you and say yay or nay. But yeah, we missed that this year, so we're just following up off the back of other things and some events that are a little less organised in terms of setting it all up in January, so that's why the Big Family Festival is great. It's sponsored by Free Radio, so they know what they're doing.
It's interesting, there's a bit of a theme forming out of these these interviews that I've done, because Tom Walker, I'm sure when I talked to Tom, there's a few festivals we talked about, so we talked about festivals, and I'm sure he mentioned Upton Blues.
Yes.
And how he, like a couple of years ago, he was like in this tent or whatever, and then he was on the boat, and now he's on the main stage. I can't remember the details now, but
yeah. Well, he's an exceptional musician. I saw him play. He won't know this. He doesn't really know who I am. We're friends on Facebook, but he plays. I know everything about him. He played at the station.
Hello.
He played at the station a couple of weeks ago because I was playing at the Royal.
I was there. I went to see Tom.
You didn't come see me though, did you?
Oh, do you know?
This is embarrassing now, so we'll get downhill.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I'm off.
The thing is, it was a Saturday night in the middle of Easter weekend.
Guitar lesson Friday. So whilst we've been doing this, I've just had a guitar lesson put through. So this is a girl she's 7 years old, and you can always tell who the exceptional musicians are going to be.
Oh.
You can always tell. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, definitely. They've either got it or they haven't. And it's little things like with this little girl in particular, she'd gone away to learn a song, and the next week came back, and she hadn't learned that last part of the song. We'd only got up to like line 3 of the chorus, and there was a 4th line, and she'd nailed it, you know, and she hadn't been online, because I trust her. I looked into her eyes, and she said she hadn't been online to work it out, but she knew to go down in the song, and she said that chord works with that chord. It talking about minor, major, and you know she can hear it, and there's just little things that you can tell.
Wow.
And when they practice, that means they like what they're doing. You know, if you really have to make some more practice, then music's not for them, or they're playing you're teaching them the wrong kind of music, you know. So, just in regard to that, one thing that I think is really key when you're tutoring, you sit down with the child and the mother first, or the father first of all, and then you actually talk to them about the direction they want their music to go in. So, you know, one key thing, if you don't know what the end result is, it's exactly the same with any business, any strategy. If you don't know what you're wanting as an end result, then how are you meant to set up the pathways to get them there? But then obviously in this day and age we micro plan to get there. So actually that might change to this, or it might change this to this. But when that child is sat with you and they say, right, I want to learn Ed Sheeran, right? You know what sort of music they want to do. Right, do you want to play chords? Do you want to play like this? And you demonstrate, you know? And then they say, I want to play like that. You know, a bit of tapping, a bit in there, and making it a bit more of a rhythmical instrument. And if you know what they want, they're going to enjoy it. There's so many tutors that will go through the scales, go through the basics of guitar, which is not fit for what the kids want, because at the moment a kid just wants excitement and motivation and fun, and all that can come as you're developing them as a musician. You know, the theory side of things. You know, they don't even know how to spell theory, so why teach them? Why sit down and teach them that stuff? You can teach them that within the music that they want to learn, and that will develop over time. But it's a bit like your open questions, a bit like sales. If you don't know what they want, how are you meant to take them on a journey?
This is brilliant. Because isn't it true that, like, if you can keep that passion with the instrument, then, you know, at some point they're going to learn the scales, because they're going to realise that they need to know the scales.
Absolutely.
And that's the time to learn it.
It's when they say to you, why? But why? You know, you can instigate those conversations to make them ask those questions, and that's just the power of communication. You know, that's another selling technique that we use, the open questions, probing and stuff. But kids are really good at it. But why? But why? But why? So when you say to them, it's A minor, not A major, and then you know the happy chord and the sad chord, and then they'll say, but why? And then you know that they're interested in knowing the layers underneath it of the theory side of music. And
interesting.
You can teach them that. It's a bit like when we sort of do, when we start a song, so we'll go 3, 4, and they'll say, why do you start on 3?
Why do you start on 3?
Exactly, not sure. Because by the time we've gone 1, 2, 3, first of all I sound like a conductor, but you know, it's about finding the pace, the metronome of the piece, the speed of the piece. So 3, 4, you don't need the 1 and the 2.
No.
So 3, 4, boom, straight in. And then some of them will come in on 4. So you go 3, ding, like this, and then then you say don't start, then you start then. But why? You know, and then you can go into talking about tempos and things like that with them.
Oh wow. That's fantastic.
Would you like to learn about tempos?
Do you know what? As a drummer, yes, please. I'll tell you what.
You should really know about that. You do.
Well, no, not really. I mean, so we have this funny thing where I'm not sure I'm particularly good at remembering what tempo a song's supposed to be. So it's kind of like,
oh dear.
You know what?
Sorry, you were saying you wanted to do some drumming for us.
Oh shit. Tempos, yeah, brilliant. Next.
Rhythm. 3/4, you know 3/4 waltz.
I
One,
do.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just pretend you're on, I don't know, Strictly or something. Whizzing around the dance floor. But tempos, yeah, that's one key thing in a band that drummers will, other people watching a band could complain about. Oh, they played that song too fast. Ooh, that's too slow, you know. And the one thing about the project is it's great that we don't have that sort of stigma against us in terms of tempo, because we arrange a piece of music. So we do like a bluesy version of Proud Mary, and then we go into the, you know, the proper Tina version of or Creedence Clearwater version. You know, we go into that after. That's a good job in the city, you know, and all that. And then all of a sudden it's and we will go at the speed of what that woman I was talking about earlier will want to move her arms and legs up. And we'll pick it up and then we'll drop it down, and we'll pick it up and drop it down. And that's what's fun about the project as well. So we're not Creedence version, Tina version, our version.
Yeah.
And our version is what the audience wants.
So you mentioned something earlier that got me thinking, but I think it's going to be great.
Is it the chorus?
I think I'm going to learn a lot from actually jamming with you and playing with you, because I'm no
Tempo,
technically, I'm not I'm not a really like technical musician. I tend to sort of go with what feels good.
Yeah, that's great.
And we've had like the one experience, and this is why I think it's like, if you had a choice of being in a band that rehearses every Saturday for a year, or being in a band that rehearses for a week and then goes out and does a gig, and goes out and does another gig and another gig and another gig. The latter, what you're going to do is every week you're going to get some kind of audience feedback. You're going to see what songs they like, what songs they hate. You try new songs out, and we, from almost our very first gig, we went out and we played this song called Pencil Full of Lead by Paolo Nutini. And it's in.
I know it.
And it's apparently it's ragtime. And I went on Wikipedia one day, went on a hunt and found out all about ragtime and all this stuff. And I know nothing about it, but I know that I can kind of feel it and I can kind of play it. And as soon as you start playing that rhythm, the whole room starts to move, and it's really weird.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as you said, use the word feeling it, and that's what it's about for the audience anyway. Definitely, they've got to feel it. That's what they want music for. It's all about feeling. It's changing the atmosphere of a room. Now, musicians are either technically able, let's say they will have studied music theory and know that, you know, that goes to that, goes to that, goes to that, and can read music and do everything that way, and be amazing musicians. Some people I know, like yourself, will just feel it, so they'll know what chords are coming up, they'll know what change is coming up, they know that we're going into a bridge that's of that key. You know, it's not because they know the song, but they can feel it, and they'll just feel the groove and what it's meant to be. And I love working with people like that.
Cool. I will be alright.
We'll be just fine.
I'll be alright, as long as you don't want me to count at the beginning.
I'll tell you what, I'll hire in a conductor.
No,
Simon Rattle from the, I think it was a CBSO at the Symphony Hall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you'll be like this. I've never worked with a band with a conductor, and do you remember that video that we did the other day for YouTube? You wanted a conductor? No, Joe, I just wanted you to count in. I always go completely extreme, so that's it now, conductor.
To go on a complete tangent, on the thing about festivals, I forgot to say that, are you doing this still going yet? We did a festival a couple of years ago that's very family friendly, that I'd really recommend, and it's down in Cottridge, down in South Birmingham.
Yes.
There's a park, and they have a festival called Cocoa Mad.
Cocoa Mad?
Yeah, have you heard of it?
Yes, I have, yeah. Brilliant. Do you have to take Cocoa Pops with you?
Yes. And it's it's a proper festival stage, and there's like at least 1,000 people there, and it's mad, it's crazy.
That's what's called Cocoa Mad.
Yeah, but Unfortunately, now this is another theme of this, because the last interview I did, we were talking about the Roadhouse, and then a few days later there was a fire at the Roadhouse, and so there's this venue down in South Birmingham.
I know the Roadhouse. Yeah, played there, I think.
Yeah, did you know? Did you know A, it's closed, and B, it then had a fire?
No, it had a fire after it closed.
It had a fire after it closed. Yeah. So,
No comment.
No comment. I've made some videos about the fire, and I went down and filmed it the day after and everything. And it didn't look too bad from the outside, but apparently it was pretty bad on the inside.
Oh dear.
Here we go. We have a
So now we've had a break, and I've told him about 4/4 time, 3/4 time, 6/8, and what a bar is. Then we're now going to start inviting Toby from Bangford band. He's in a band called Bangford, by the way. I'm going to start inviting him along to some of our gigs to play drums.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I know all the different time signatures.
Moving out the way now.
Yeah. So yeah, we were just going to do a quick, just to say, actually.
Coco Mad.
Yeah, I do know someone from Coco Mad, so I'll write to him.
Okay, Coco Mad, if you're watching this, please invite the Jo Baldwin Project with Toby. With or without Toby, whatever you want to do. Invite us along to come and play on your stage. We'd love to. Thank you.
Cool. Well said. And I'll put some. What I'll do, I'll put some links below the video. What links should I include for you to your project?
Okay, so at the moment, our website is under reconstruction. So best to go onto the Facebook page, which is at the Jo Baldwin Project. YouTube, just type in Jo Baldwin, the Jo Baldwin Project into Google, and we're on there. Or you can email me at jobaldwin82@gmail.com. We'll put my phone number on there as well, as long as I don't get any dodgy phone calls, because I have enough from you.
I was only trying to get you to do this.
Yeah, and you give me free coffee, so why would I turn it down?
No. So we talked a bit about...
I'm down with this sort of thing.
Down with this sort of thing. So we talked a bit about the gigs you've got coming up this weekend. And we've talked about some festivals and stuff, so that's really good.
Yeah.
You can put links maybe to some of those under the video. Any other gigs, any other things that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, we've got loads of stuff coming up. I'm playing out in Goa.
Ooh.
So yeah, so I'm going to be in South Goa, doing some music on the stage at a local venue in, forgotten where I'm staying, Gonda, is it?
Yeah.
Gonda. Yeah, I mean, it's proper boho down in Goa, and really excited about the place where I'm going to be staying. It's got live music stage, and yeah, I'm going to be performing on that stage. So it's a place called Fusion in Ugonda, and it's a great place actually. They've got these like huts up on the beach, and they have solo travellers, you know, couples, all sorts, and yeah, very excited about that. And then when we come back from that, I've got another 3-gig weekend actually. On the 3rd, it's the 4th, 5th of May. I'm playing at Aromatic in Mere Green. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's a great shout. The Mere Green has been under construction for 7 or 8 years, maybe longer than that. We've been waiting for a whole regeneration of Mere Green, and it came about, and there's this one new cafe bar place that's called Aromatic, and it's run by a guy called Simon and his wife, and I've played there once already, and there's an upstairs that looks down. It's got great cocktails and things like that. It's an affluent area, so it's you know, they've really worked on it, prosecco kind of thing on an evening in cocktails, and so yeah, they have duos, solo pieces on a Friday, Saturday, and that's one of my slots coming up for Friday the 4th. I'm then very lucky to be playing at the Lodge in Solihull, which I played with my old band there on New Year's Eve. So that'll be good. A lady called Sharon runs that, and that's going to be a full band. And then I'm playing at the Fox and Dogs, which is just up the road from me, on an afternoon Sunday slot, and I really like doing those because it's different from your Friday or Saturday nights, a bit more laid back. It's, you know, think of how you are on a Sunday with your pipe and your slippers,
Yeah.
and your Horlicks next
Yeah.
to your whiskey. Sunday afternoon's about chill out, and so we make the music a bit more laid back, a bit more bluesy, chuck a bit of jazz in there as well, in the middle of a song, and so that's what I'm doing on the Sunday.
Wow. So when you say the lodge, is that what is that?
The Lodge in Solihull, the one on the Saturday night, that's a bar. That's a that's a bar in the B91 postcode. It's got pool tables there. I think it does Sky, but it's like in an L shape, and it's a great stage area, and then a big dance floor, and it's up to you as a band to deliver to get those people on the dance floor, because they won't come on their own accord. So I played there a few times with my last band, and I'm really excited about being back there. And Sharon, the manager, has invited us back, invited me back with my new band. So yeah, it's great. That's the networking thing, and getting on with people, and that's what it's all about. If you've got a good product, if you're good and you turn up to your gigs that you say you're going to, don't let people down, then you know the next thing is about driving those relationships and knowing what your employer, the person who's paying you, wants, and delivering it.
Fantastic.
Can't wait.
So
Can't wait to be there.
You mentioned that your website's under, I was going to say under investigation, under construction. No conspiracy theories here. So your website, it's always a really good place, isn't it? I find our website is a good place to list.
The Bangford website.
Yeah, it's a good place to list all your gigs.
So promoting, I think I should get paid, sort of a fee for every time I mention Bangford. The band Bangford. Nearly as good as the Jo Baldwin Project.
Do you, when you have a gig, do you set up an event on your Facebook page or anything like that?
I do.
I do. Oh, lovely.
So social media was never my thing, but it is now that I've got you.
Hey.
I think I'm that generation that kind of knows about Excel, unlike the parents. Knows how to turn on the computer like my mother. It's a lovely laptop, but where's the on button? So we're the generation 35, know about Excel, Word, know how to do all that, but there's this social media thing. What is social media? It's like, I'm a very social person, understand media. Media is television, advertising, radio. And then there's this massive bit in between. YouTube, Facebook, I was going to say Tinder, but Twitter, Instagram, and all these things that are just as big, if not bigger, to engage your people. And so although we've talked about doing gigs, right, there's a massive opportunity for us, which I am sort of getting the ball rolling with getting our videos online. You're performing online. Haven't quite gone to the live side of it yet, in terms of like Facebook are doing with the live side, but our performances are online. So it's a bit like, I've thought about it because of other mental health stuff. So counselling, NHS, all that stuff is, you got 6 months waiting list, whereas I've been using YouTube to get what I need from it. I type in what it is I require.
Yeah.
It might be to morning motivation or whatever it is, and there it is, bang, there's something for me that I can listen to or watch.
Yeah.
Both really. That gives me what I need, and that's where the music therapy comes in terms of being able to perform online and people are playing. And music goes back to listen, create, play.
You know what you said about live, and it got me thinking. Once I'm set up with all the hardware that we need to do it, let's do a live. We should do a live interview. We'll do something like this, and we'll go live.
All right, as
live to YouTube.
Can't take the bits out of me picking my nose and
No, we're keeping them in. you mentioned Mia Green as well. It was funny coming to meet you at the schoolhouse the other day, because when I pulled into the car park, I thought I'd gone to the wrong place, because there's all those new places out the back.
I know,
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, that's the regeneration of Mia Green. It took absolutely ages. It's been a long time coming, so we've now got Flint's as well, which is the hype of when we were just slightly underage in the 90s, drinking hooch, pound a bottle, right? We all used to go to Flint's, and Thursdays, Sundays used to be the thing to do. And it shut down, and it's been so many different things ever since. And it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked how people want them to be, otherwise they would still be open. And there's this massive shout out using social media to want Flint's back, and Flint's is now back.
Wow.
Flint's is now back, and I'm yet to go up there to try and to ask them for a slot. But Mia Green in general is a hive of activity now. So you've got the Mare Pool, you've got the old schoolhouse, you've got Aromatic, you've got Flint's. And you've got one of the lounges up there as well, Renato's, which is a bit like Quinto Lounge. I don't know if you know those, of Sutton and surround. But yeah, you've got some really key things, and the Funky Bear as well. So the Funky Bear is a venue that I've just been accepted to play at, and so I'll give you those gig dates to add to the bottom of the YouTube video.
Cool.
If people wanted to come and see that. So yeah, it's a real buzzing place now. Now that Sutton itself is slowly getting quieter and quieter.
Yeah, I've heard this. Why is that happening?
Because the Jo Baldwin Project don't play there.
Apart from at the Sutton Tap.
Yes, having the Sutton Tap. No, it's just it's mainly about footfall, isn't it? Around, you know, at the end of the day, they've got some cracking high street names, but it's not working. You've got like Burger King, you've got, you know, as well, for fast food, and it just doesn't. They're not working. They've got the market there. I was just reading some stuff on nextdoor.co.uk, and they were people talking about it, and there's no better reality than listening to the people of the neighbourhoods talking about it, and footfall's just not around there. So you've got the strip up towards the Horse and Jockey pub, and that's got a few bars and stuff, but the actual high street itself is, everything's online.
Yeah.
Everything's online, so you've got Tamworth as well, you've got Lichfield shopping. Yeah, and unfortunately it means the bars that are around that area sadly don't perform as they should, because people don't know about them. And that's why, yet again, social media for those bars is really important.
Yeah. So
your Thursday night event at the Sutton Tap is a fantastic night, and it used to be called the Bitter End Pub, and it used to be phenomenal for live music. There's the downstairs and the upstairs, and a lot of musicians would go there, and I think we've played there now. Question 102.
So we've been talking for about an hour off camera, in between getting the camera rolling.
Got jaw ache.
So
I haven't talked and you haven't listened.
All that content gone forever.
That's it.
So I think where we were, we were going to do one last kind of little 10-minute segment just to wrap everything up.
Yeah.
I was going to ask actually about, because we were talking about Sutton, and it brought to mind the 3 Tons. And I'm a big friend of the 3 Tons open mic, so I'm going to give them a shout out there.
Yes!
For people who've got this far in the interview. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to do a closed question anyway. I don't care now.
Yeah.
Have you done the 3 Tons open mic?
I've been on many a nights to the 3 Tons. Drinking session, but I haven't played there, and the reason I haven't played at the open mic is because the last band I was in, we used to rehearse often on a Tuesday, so couldn't get down there. But yeah, I've been in talks on Messenger about going, so maybe next week is the week. Have you played there with Bangford?
We so I'm in a band called the Scuttlers, and 2 of the guys out of the Scuttlers, they like to go to the 3 Tons open mic every week. Which is great actually, because you know, you get up and you play 3 songs, and quite often, because we know them there quite well, quite often they give us a full 40 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you're in a band and you want a feature slot,
Yeah.
it's 30 minutes plus.
Yeah.
So you can arrange that, and so that's a
So
rehearsal.
40 minutes slot, 3 songs, that's 13 minutes and 30 seconds. With a 10-second change.
So the north is
wow, 40 minutes for you guys. So 30-minute slot, that's good.
yeah. So basically, it's like a normal open mic where most acts will go up and do 3 songs, but every night they have some kind of feature artist, or they aim to have a feature artist.
Yeah.
Who will either go on like the beginning or the end, or depending.
Yeah.
And that slot's 30 minutes.
Okay. And do you have to? The PA kit's there. I guess the amps are there.
Amps, drum kit.
Brilliant. So you just have to turn up with your sticks.
Breakables.
So personally, I just have to turn up with my guitar and my clothes.
Yeah, actually, you're right about
Do you know,
this.
that's one thing I always forget, my clothes. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
I remember my guitar. Note to self.
So yeah, the drum kit has got everything on it. I bring my snare because I like my snare, but sticks basically is all you
That's
need.
pretty pedantic of you. Oh. One must bring one snare.
Well, yeah. Do you think? Oh, you'll find most drummers are a bit funny about it.
Anal. I like it. That's why I mean taking my short SM58 everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I do. So there we go. I'm an anal singer as well. Maybe I shouldn't call myself. Pedantic singer. I'm a pedantic singer.
So we've talked about a lot of different things.
Mainly music.
Mainly music. We've covered your upcoming gigs. We're going to put links to the social stuff under the video.
Yep. Yeah.
Is there anything else? What would you like to talk about? To wrap everything up?
I think one of the things that often people don't talk about is I talked about myself, but there's going to be some people watching this and who are socially connected, say with myself. And I guess the key thing for me is those people that understand where I'm at musically with my business, with the JBP, is that it's about music therapy, right? And it's about going out gigging and for people to enjoy my music. And I request for those people's help to start really getting us out there, sharing this video, recommending us to other people as well, because that's the really hard bit. And if we can get out there, then the music therapy will look after itself, because we'll be naturally helping other people. Because eventually I'm going to get onto being blogging and actually doing one-to-one stuff to help counsel and support people who come to us for help in different ways. So yeah, the more people we can get to, the better.
Great. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and hopefully see you. Well, I'm going to see you really soon, because I think we'll probably do a gig on Sunday. So
yeah, absolutely. Cool. Woo! In the bag. Okay, no,
Cheers.
thank you, Toby.